So, guys, just kind of talk about. Obviously, you guys are kind of the two of the veterans in this group. You've been Daniel. You've been around for 5 years. So, how is the off season preparing for this season maybe different than maybe past years because you have some more familiarity with the coaching staff and with a lot of returners, obviously, for both of you guys.
Oh yeah, it's different for me just because this is the first time that I have actually had the same defensive coaching staff like everyone through and throughout. Uh, I've had four different defensive coordinators and four or five different defensive back coaches. So just having the same coaches here and just not switching up what we learn every year and having new terms, it just it's going to help a lot.
I know just from my perspective, it being my first year last year to this year, it's completely different. Last year, I felt like I was drinking out of a fire hose almost, just all the information being thrown at me. And now this year, I'm a lot more settled. I'm a lot more comfortable and confident in what I can do, and it's allowed me to pour into the young guys a lot more. So now I feel much more comfortable talking to the young guys, encouraging them, trying to help guide them in the right direction in our off-season workouts, and just trying to help them understand I've been where they're at. I was there a year ago. Now I had years of college ball under my belt, but coming to a new place it's still coming to a new place.
Reggie, you kind of set the conference on fire last year. 12 touchdown catches, tied a school record. You were 40, 50-some catches that you had overall. You coming in, doing that last year, I guess you kind of expected to be more of the same this year, but how did you kind of come into it? You kind of with everybody knows about Andrew Cook and Zach Rakowski. They know about you. Now they know about you, and they know about Zach and Andrew. So what do you kind of bring? What do you expect for this coming year? I guess you get a lot more defenses towards your way, I guess, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not. My biggest goal is to win the game on Saturday. I know that me producing is going to give us a great shot in doing it, but I'm perfectly fine going to a game with one catch for 5 yards and me win the game by 30. Early on in my career, it would have bothered me a lot, but now as I'm getting older, the thing I'm worried about most is winning games and winning the big games and winning the important games. The personal accolades will come because the more you win, the more recognition you'll get. And so just having defenses looking towards me isn't something I haven't dealt with before, but it's not something that's going to throw me for a loop. I'm still going to be the same guy I've been, and I'm just trying to elevate my game each and every week.
Daniel, as I think I was telling you the other day, I've been around Division II football a long time, and you're one of the hardest hitting defensive backs I've ever seen play the game, obviously, and two-time All-American. But your leadership maybe doesn't go noticed as much to the casual fan, but you are a big leader on the field sometimes. Maybe people don't see it, but talk about your leadership and what does that mean to some of those younger guys? And you have a pretty experienced backfield coming back, obviously.
Oh yeah, I just been here for a while, so all the younger guys that come in or new guys that come in, they just see a face that they've seen on the Instagrams or on our websites and stuff. So I already have some type of leadership just that way, just by what I do. But Reggie could attest for this, but I'm a hard leader, so I'll get on people for doing the littlest stuff wrong, because if you just stack up the little things and you just keep doing the little things wrong, then it's going to just keep stacking up and just make something worse happen, pretty much. So I'd say I just lead by example, but then if I have to, I'll have to get on people.
Coach talks about 1% better every day. I know that's your guys' mantra. It's a great mantra. How do you guys teach that to the younger guys? You guys have some newer guys this year and some guys that haven't been in the program. How do you kind of teach that to them and make them buy into that, I guess, really?
I guess on our offense side of the ball, it's just not making the same mistakes over and over again, and working on and getting better at one thing each day. Because you're not gonna change your entire game in one practice, but you can get better at one thing in each practice. You can focus on one thing in each practice. And I know in the receiver room at least, we focus on our run rules and stuff like that, and we don't want to have any busts when it comes to that. We want to be able to, our alignment and assignment, we want it to be right. We just want the controllable things, we want to be able to control them and not leave it up to chance to see, are we going to do this or are we going to do that. We want to know and have confidence and be able to play fast, and that's the biggest thing with getting 1% better.
Same thing to you, Daniel. What does that mean teaching the younger guys to buy in that 1%? Because obviously you have a lot of guys back on defense, especially in the backfield, but there are some new guys that are going to play that maybe have not played here in the past, obviously.
It's just basically piggybacking off of what Reggie said, is just not making the same mistake twice. Like for our defense, our run gaps are key with what we do. So if you mess up on one play, just fess and fix it and just go to the next play. And then for defensive back wise, I know that for the 1% better, we pick a new thing for each day of practice. Like we'll work on our man technique, or we'll work on our scooch, or basically just zone coverage. So we'll just find one thing, and that whole practice, we're not worried about anything else. We're just worried about that one thing. So then you'll just get 1% better that way.
If you had to describe it, last question. If you had to describe yourself in one word, how would you describe yourself? You can use 2 words, I guess, too. I'm sorry.
That's a good question.
I'd probably say passionate, just because I feel like if I don't love what I'm doing, I'm not going to give it my all. And I mean, I play football because I love football. I love everything about football. Even with all the injuries and stuff, like the rehab, you find a love for it at some point, and that's what gets you through and gets you through each season.
For me, mine would probably be energy. Like, I know you heard Coach when he said it in the press conference, like, just wait till the lights come on. When the lights come on, a whole different side of me comes out, and it just brings the energy. I try to make sure everyone's energy's up. I try to set a play up just to get our sideline lit or whatever that is. So.
Perfect. Thank you guys. Appreciate that.
Of course.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.